I think ultimately, like you and I have discussed, it's the players that go out there and need to execute. It doesn't matter who's telling you what to do. I mean, we had Marty St. Louis helping us out the year before, and there's only so much they could do and say and put on the board. But like I said, it's ultimately the players that need to execute and get the job done. So if anything, we take blame, and we should, and we have, and definitely me. You know, I'm a big proponent of that. So. I think he said it today. It's a clean slate next year for a lot of us, and just looking forward to the challenges and getting together.
And we heard fresh voice a few times today. I mean, how important is that kind of where this franchise is right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's, towards this here for 6 years, and we've accomplished a lot within the organization and taken a lot of great steps forward, and he was part of that as well from day one when Torts has been here. So, it's hard to see someone leave, but I think we were ready for a new voice and, to bring in someone familiar and, he knows the players and I know his coaching style. So I think fans are going to be pleasantly surprised with how he goes about his business and holds that standard and accountability and is very approachable. And, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs no matter what. So I'm excited for him.
Cam, as one of the veteran leaders on this team, like what goes to your head when you hear the terms reload, rebuild, like this team is not what it was, that kind of thing?
You know, it's every year brings different challenges and players come and players stay in, free agency, draft picks, opportunity. You never know, who's going to come in and exceed your expectations or vice versa. So, that's a business. That's the NHL, and there's always someone trying to take your spot. So if someone doesn't want to be here, it just gives more opportunity for someone to take that role and get bigger minutes. But I think we mentioned it even before that we have a lot of first-round draft picks. There's a decent amount of cap space to make some moves and bring in players or sign some free agents. But I think we're in a position right now where we could do some really good things. And, like Lars said, the X, Y, and Z. In three weeks from now, the landscape could be completely different. So I know that obviously JD, Yarmo, and Lars, they're going to do what's best for this organization and for our team. And we have a lot of faith and trust in them.
Yes. Fans kind of only know him as the power play coach, which I think why some of the reaction has been what it's been. But what should they know about him that they don't, in your eyes, that just haven't gotten to know him so many years here in this team?
I'll keep hitting it. I mean, he's just very approachable, and he holds everyone accountable, no matter who you are. The depth chart, how much money you make, if you're first line, fourth line, where you fall, and he's very fair. And if you put in the work and your work ethic obviously comes first, and you'll see it. I mean, he always wants to be first, and whether he goes for a run or sorry, I'm going to go off page here, but I know him and the coaching staff, especially Bowler, would go on runs, and Bowler would, he'd do it in the morning, and then he'd tell Lars what his time was in a mile, and he goes, okay, I'll be right back, and then he goes and bangs out a mile, and it's like a minute or 2 minutes better than his time. But he just is a guy that, like I said, he's going to be very fair, and I think a lot of these young guys are going to be really excited to play under him and learn from him. And the Rolodex, like you said, is, he knows a lot of people, and a lot of people respect him, obviously myself included. So I'm looking forward to it.
Could you always tell that he could be an NHL head coach? I mean, maybe even back when you were in the AHL, you were a young guy then, so you hadn't had a ton of coaches. But even if you got to know him over the years, could you see that he had the kind of the intangibles that needed to handle this?
100%. I mean, it's crazy when he was mentioning off, Bruce Landon and Rob Riley, the guys in Springfield and Chris McFarland and Scott Housen, those guys that was my era back in the day. So it's Yeah, I mean, even back then, like I said, I knew the style that he liked, and it suited me very well. Um, he pushed me, and I think, a lot of players need that. And for me, I think hey JD, hey Dinwiddie. I think I thrive under that. So, yeah.
What was do you remember the style that you guys played with Springfield?
Well, like I said, he was a big believer in being in shape, so our practices were very hard, but we also had a lot of skill. I mean, some of the guys he mentioned, we had an unbelievable team, fast, quick, in good shape. I think obviously when you're in good shape, a lot of things fall under that category of, just outworking that team, and when guys are tired in the third period, we have that extra gas in the tank. So it's you have to adapt, and the league's gotten so young that it's a lot quicker, and transition game is, he believes in all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Hey, you watch some of these playoff games, and it's just
That's crazy.
It's breakneck pace.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is it fair to say that you guys played with an up-tempo
Oh, yeah.
style when you were in
Yeah, I mean, the facts are the facts, right? I mean, we had the best AHL team in this, I guess, franchise's history, other than not winning.
Right.
But that was during the lockout, where obviously once the lockout ended, a bunch of us came up here, and the team was completely different.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool.